Twistout on that beat. Go.
So first you're going to start off on some freshly washed hair, and after you wash it, just kind of let it dry a little bit. You don't want it soaking wet. And what I do is I first part my hair into like a small section in the back. That's what I'm doing right now. And then you just take all that hair, the rest of that hair that's in the front, and you're going to put it on top of your head. And it doesn't have to be a perfect part. I'll show you that in a moment. I know it looks like I'm talking to myself. I promise I'm not. While I was making this video, I had a friend over in the other room, so I was having a conversation with her. I promise I'm not crazy. And so that bottom section that you part, I split that in two, and then I split that in half again. It's actually going to end up being split in three, but yeah, for now we're going to start off with that one small section from one of the half sections I have in the back. Hopefully that didn't confuse you guys. Okay, and then you're just going to spritz that section with some water, and you want to make sure it's detangled. You don't want any snags or tangles or anything for when you start your twist. And I think I've already put my product in. I forgot to show you in this part of the video, but you'll see it later on in the video how much I used. Totally looks like I'm talking to myself. Okay. After I put in the twisting butter, I put the gel after that, and then I use that hard brush to smooth it out just to make sure there's, again, no tangles or knots. And then you want to separate it into 3 pieces. And you're going to start the twist off actually in a braid. And you want it kind of tight so that it's like secure, so that your twist doesn't end up coming out. And I swear my first twist took me like 20 minutes. And I ended up taking it out and redoing it because it can be kind of tricky at first, you guys. I'm not going to lie. Yeah, see? Redo. Alright, so that's the first twist and how it came out. I'll be showing in detail a little further into the video on how I did it. I just had to make sure I got the hang of it again first, because like I said, when you're a beginner doing a 3-strand twist, it can be kind of confusing and a little bit difficult at first. So I'm pulling out that second section from that first half section that we had. Spritz it with water, detangle it, and that's about how much of the almond twisting butter I used. That's what I use for my twist. I use that, and then I use the Eco Styler gel as I showed you earlier in the video. And that's about how much gel. Not much, not too much, because you don't want it crunchy. You still want a soft hold. And smooth it from roots to end. Smooth it out with your brush. and then start off with those 3 pieces again. Okay, so we're starting off with that braid again. And then you want to start twisting. And you will notice your braid unraveling a little bit when you start your twist. That's perfectly normal. That's why I braid it down far enough to where when it does start unraveling, there's still a bit of a braid there left, so it still holds the twist, if that makes sense. So you see I'm just bringing the one that's far over to the right over to the left. And then you're going to twist it all the way down, basically until you can't anymore. And I know the movement seems a little confusing at first. Don't worry, further in the video I kind of slow it down a little bit and give you a closer look on how I did the twist. Okay, so in this video you see I finished my first section. I'm moving on to the second section, which is like in the middle of my head, and follow the same steps for each twist, nothing new. And I'm just speeding it up a little bit because it's a long process. It took me, well, it probably could have took me a little less time if I didn't stop and take so many breaks. I had to pick up my sister from school and a whole bunch of other stuff. So here's a closer view of how I do the twist. So you just bring that far piece of hair over, bring it all the way over both twists. Both pieces of hair. Again, bring that piece that's all the way, looks like to the left, bring it all the way to the right over the other 2 pieces of hair, and continue doing that all the way down. And when you get to the end, you just twirl it with your finger. And mine stays like that. If yours doesn't coil at the end, that's not a problem. You can easily put rubber bands or a bobby pin to hold it. And I'm like super excited because this is my last twist after like 2 hours. And sorry if I sound a little stuffy, I'm a little bit under the weather. And I just put a little gel on my edges so they lay down so they're not as frizzy. And this is about how many twists you should have at the end. I did them smaller this time. From the first time I did a 3-strand twist, it just comes out better. And you're gonna be looking like Felicia from Friday, but it's okay. You're gonna be cute the next day. Alright, and then and I go to sleep and take it out the next day. And when you're taking down the twists, you want to use some kind of oil. It helps reduce frizz. I'm using the Moroccan Argon Oil, but you can use any oil of your choice really. If you want to use jojoba oil or olive oil, or, you know, all the different oils out there, either one works. And you just kind of pull it apart gently though, because if you don't do it gently, then you're just gonna create a whole bunch of frizz and a whole bunch of extra stuff you don't want. You'll start separating the twists a little too early, and like I said, you'll just create a whole bunch of frizz. So just easily unravel it. Okay, and I'm just showing you here what it looks like. You see got nice definition. It's super soft, nice bouncy curls. And just continue doing that all over your head, slowly unraveling each twist. If your hands, you know, start drying out, there's not enough oil, just go ahead and add a little more. And I'm already done with the first half. And I end up doing the rest off camera. And you see the complete look. So you can leave it like this. If you like this look, you can leave it like this and go on with your day. Or me, I like bigger hair. So I begin to separate some of the twists. Or some of the curls from the twists. And you saw I added a little bit more oil on my hands. Again, to prevent any extra frizz or any unwanted frizz. And when you pull it apart gently and twist the curl so that it's, you know, going the same way that you took it out in, that you separated out in, if that makes sense. You guys know what I mean. Because if you just separate it and you don't, you know, coil it back, then it'll have kind of like that frizzy end. And for a little more extra added volume, I just use a hair pick and just pick it up at the roots. And it kind of hides the different sections too of where the twists were done, especially in the back. And just continue doing that until your desired volume. And there you go. Beautiful, bouncy curls. Super soft, super defined. And that's all there is to it. So I hope you guys liked my video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.
What's that on that beat? Oh.